Good morning everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So starting off with Euro USD as usual, and it does look like we're forming some sort of a consolidation or breakout formation at the moment on the 8 hour. So there's a shoulder, there's a head, possibly another shoulder forming at the moment. Trend is still down, it is definitely still to the downside. So that trend line there is pretty much what we need to wait for at the moment. So that lines up fairly nicely with the 66 EMA. So I suspect if you look at the oscillators as well, we're starting to grip the upside. At the moment, divergence forming between this high and this high here. So you can see price is higher than there, and the oscillator, sorry, price is lower here than there, while the oscillator is higher. So there is continuation divergence. Personally, I think what we need to do is just wait for structure. So we've managed to cross over all the moving averages on the hour, and we are sort of consolidating at the moment. So that was pretty much most of yesterday. So you can see big up, big down. So nothing really exciting at the moment. This is still my line in the sand, and it doesn't look like we found support. If we do drop below this, then I'd be looking at this level again and then a break below. That would give me more downside. So at the moment, support needs to hold at 115.852. What we're looking for is pretty much a break above 116.100. If we do get that break, I suspect we'd probably bounce off this 116.400 area back down. Should be another opportunity to buy back on this level 116.100. So looking like opportunities to buy. It does look like nice strong move up, sideways range, break, retest, and then I would expect a measured move equal to the move up from here. So in other words, something like that. And you can see that pretty much takes us to the trend line. So that's kind of my view there. I think we've definitely got upside to the trend line. After that, we'll have to wait and see. US dollar, Japanese yen, we were consolidating and we've gapped up massively this morning. Let's just get down to the hour because there's nothing really else we can see there. So 3 days of sideways, we've gapped up. I'd be waiting here at the gap, to be honest. 113.720 area. Wait for a retest here. There is the inverse head and shoulders here, so you can see there is a shoulder, there is the head, and there is the other shoulder there, or alternatively shoulder, double head, and then little shoulder there. Doesn't really matter. It's a breakout. It's a rounding. Not a rounding top, it looks like a rounding bottom. A bit confusing when you've been in an upward trend, but it's a consolidation pattern. Only thing that concerns me is the oscillators, but we are in a fairly strong upward trend, so I'd expect to pull back onto structure and then another opportunity to buy. So this is the level I'd be looking at, 113.720. Stops are going to be at this stage below the low of not yesterday but Wednesday. The reason for that is we've still got a gap open here. Okay, moving on to British pound, Japanese yen, another one. So yesterday we spoke about this potential flag here, and we were looking for a pullback on structure to buy. It didn't really materialize. We just got to the top of the flag and then bounced off, and then this morning we've had a bit of a gap and a fairly solid move to the upside. So if you look what we're talking about here, so yesterday we were looking at either a break down of the wedge just to come to structure to find us an opportunity to buy into it. Didn't materialize. We hit the top of the wedge, sold off, and now we're bouncing up to the upside again. So remember what I said yesterday. Also possible that this just forms a channel. So just bear that in mind. There's still no structure for me to get in here. We're going to need to come back on structure. I just want to see the 15. There's probably opportunities on the 15. Well, there wasn't yesterday. So that high of yesterday is definitely an opportunity, but we also have a gap. We've got two gaps at the moment, so I'm very wary when we've got gaps like this. So I think I'd rather just sit and wait. That's what I'm going to do. This gap is going to act as a magnet. This one will also act as a magnet. The big question is, when is that magnet going to play out? So I'd prefer a little bit of structure back to the downside and then opportunities to buy. So I'm on the sidelines with British pound, Japanese yen. Euro pound, so we did get the break, and buyers came promptly back. So you can see this was the break we were looking at yesterday, 084761. We got the break, we're back up here. The rate still stays the same, to be honest. We're looking for opportunities to sell. So you can see how long we were going sideways, and then we got the break here. Buyers came back pretty much immediately and drove price back up into the structure. So for me right now, it's a break of 084761 again. So that's the opportunity we're looking for. There is a little gap here, and I just want to check the 15 to see if there's any smaller gaps. This is significant, as I said yesterday. If we can hold this level, if we can hold the break below 084761, then I suspect we're going to have quite a bit more downside. So you can see how important this level was. Look at what the bulls were trying here, trying to buy it, trying to push it back up, keep it above this level. Failed. One more time, they managed to get back above it, and this morning kind of tested it. But I would be very interested to see if we get below this. And if that does happen, that's going to be a London breakout strategy as well to the downside, because this is a key level, and that is kind of right near the bottom of the London breakout range. So I'd be paying very close attention to this. Not looking for longs at the moment, really just looking for structure to the downside. Trend is down. We've had a major break. I'm only interested in structure that's going to take us on a short journey. So there are gaps here. There's a little gap here. There's another one there. Looks like there's a little one here. And there is one here as well, which hasn't been closed. Tails have closed it, but I want bodies closing gaps, not tails. So yeah, I think for me, the trend is down, clearly to the downside. What you're looking for is structure. I wouldn't want to be shorting up the year. I'd want to be shorting on a break of structure, and at the moment, London breakout strategy. So first 7 1-hour bars, draw your levels, and it's probably going to be what you see here. More than likely going to be between 084761 and something like 084867. So break of this range, little range here to the downside, definite opportunity to be short, and at least to come and test the lows on a Friday, possibly even a break below that. Anyway, that's it for me on Forex. Is looking quite interesting. Next week should give us some fairly interesting trades, especially on Euro Pound, which has been sideways for quite some time. Anyway, hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you next week on Monday morning. Cheers for now.